Bizarre Brain Comics. Whoa, 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 whoa there, Nightmare. Good horse. You want go on and have yourself some water. Yeehaw! Hey! Hi there. Howdy, folks. This here, is the Trigger Kid. Yeehaw! And I am here once again to tell you tales of the Wild West that never was. Yep, yeah, yeehaw. And welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. Got my old buddy the Lone Ranger here on the cut. Saddle card. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics and talk a little bit about the characters and the creators, and then examine the stories and the art. Alrighty then. What we're going to look at this time is from DC Comics. This was 1979. Wierd Western Tales number 59, featuring Scalphunter. Yeah, Scalphunter. Thrilling. It is thrilling too. Let's see what we got here in the big book of knowledge. This is Wierd Western Tales, number 59, from 1979, featuring the Scalphunter. And the title is The Search. It's by Michael Fleischer, the writer, drawn by Dick Ayers. In Scalphunter, he first appeared in Wierd Western, number 39, in 1977. And he was created by Sergio Aragonis and Joe Orlando. I didn't know that Sergio had created Scalphunter, co-created Scalphunter. I was kind of surprised. Now I knew he had created Bat Lash, but I didn't know he did Scalphunter. And okay, the Scalphunter, he was a boy named Brian Savage, and he was abducted by Kiowa Indians who attacked his family's ranch, and he was adopted and raised by them. They named him Kiwonote, which means in their language, he who is less than human. His primary weapons were the tomahawk, knife, and bow, and he was also expert in firearms. As an adult, he left the tribe and was called Scalphunter as he wandered the West and having many adventures. Along the way, he got the moniker Scalphunter. Although his main storyline took place in these issues took place during the American Civil War, he also had later interactions with other DC Western characters such as Jonah Hex and Bat Lash and others. Apparently, many years later, he settled into, basically became a white man again. More or less abandoned his Kiowa Indian persona, and he even became, from what I understand, a sheriff of some town, and had many adventures there, all the way up until his death after the turn of the century, I guess, or thereabouts. So that is about all I got on that. So let us go follow the wild and woolly adventures of Brian Savage, Scalphunter. Okay, here we have, you can see the full image of that cover. I really like this cover. It's got a lot of tension and implied action, and the Scalphunter figure there in the center, he's got a lot of built up power just about to be released. It's really nice. Yeah. And this artist who did this cover, I don't know who this was. I could probably find out if I dug a little deeper. He did a lot of these Scalphunter covers. Dick Ayers did some, I believe, but seeing this other issue here too. Now, I don't know who this was. It's kind of a roughish, organic style, which works real well for westerns. Same thing would go for war comics, and he's probably done war comics. Whoever this is, his initials are LD. It doesn't leave his doesn't sign his work with his full name. And like I said, and he's probably somebody I'm familiar with, but I do recognize the style, but I just don't have a name to put to it. Yeah, it was very action-packed and oriented. Now, the interior artist, Dick Ayers, he did the oldest stuff I've seen from him, I think, was Western stuff. And he did a lot of work over his career. And various genres. He did do superheroes, a lot for Marvel and for Archie, and in the 80s when they did their superhero line. But I just never really cared for his style, his art style for the superheroes. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why. Although when he did the Archie stuff, his work was inked by, at that time, at least what I've seen, by oh geez, all of a sudden I can't think of his name. He did who used to do Jonah Hex, and it really helped his style look more appealing in the superhero genre. But here, this Dick Ayers, he did a lot of westerns and war stuff, and I think his style works much better in those genres. I really like him in the westerns and in the war. He did for years did Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, and some of the other war titles they had. Marvel didn't have a whole lot, but yeah, he did that. And of course, did Scalphunter. He was one of the creators of the original Ghost Rider in comics way back in the early 50s. And he carried the Ghost Rider with him. This is the original Ghost Rider, the Western Ghost Rider. When he took that character with him, I guess maybe it had gone into public domain, from what I understand, and Marvel picked it up and quickly put Dick Ayers back on that title. When there was a lot of reprints of that character later, they were always changing the names. They had the Haunter, Phantom Rider, stuff like that. They couldn't use Ghost Rider because by then Marvel had the rights to Ghost Rider, and they had changed the Ghost Rider to modern day motorcycle rider. So instead, here we go. Scalphunter, and here it starts off with real exciting. It's a really nice drawing, and I like the style of the the lettering in that title. The Search. And really nice, very thrilling, exciting. The first thing you see is Scalphunter on his pony, just Appaloosa, just pounding the ground as he's being chased and being shot at by someone. And he said, yeah, we catch that Injun, we'll pay him back in spades for what he done to our brother Billy. Yeah. And who did? Romeo Tangle. I think that's it. Pronounced. I did the inking, and it works really nicely on Dick Ayers pencils. And the storytelling, page layout, the whole thing is just thrilling. He leaps off the cliff into the river below, boom, and his pursuers are not about to do that. So now both he and his horse are exhausted. He gets out and he sees a cave, someplace where he can hide. He lets his horse loose for a while, let him continue on to lead his pursuers away. Does the old trick of with a tree branch, erasing his tracks, and then using that same branch to cover up the entrance to the cave. One thing he didn't realize that the cave was occupied, but he was shot, losing blood, and he passes out. Well, the fella meanwhile his pursuers, they get lost. Then back to the cave, he wakes up and he's been bandaged and someone's food is cooking and he's about to be fed. But this old man, who's apparently a prospector, said, "Oh, just here wait till my friend Lucky returns. Lucky will be back." But he said, "Now that I got you here, can you help me go out and find Lucky?" So he eats. He's regaining his strength. And also can see the kind of wild madness in this old man's eyes. But then right in the next one, it's compassion and pathos. Right in the very next image. So then there's the tears when he's thinking about his friend Lucky. Yeah, that's sad. Anyway, Scalphunter gets dressed. He's regaining his strength. And he said, "Sure enough, I'll help you go look for your friend Lucky." Meanwhile, his horse had come back. And there said, "Well, Lucky took off. Last time I saw the Lucky, he was heading in this direction." So they go looking for Lucky, and meanwhile, his pursuers are back. They've circled back, and here, they say, "Oh, let's go enter this canyon." Well, this canyon happens to be some Apache, secret Apache burial grounds, and they're being watched by 3 of the Apaches. This is a really nice image here of the sky burials that many Western tribes had, and they shoot those Apaches. But they start shooting down at him. It hits the old man with an arrow. "Oh, look up there! It's Apaches! Run!" But he get Kimonote, a Scalphunter. He won't leave him. But he signals. He calls to them in their own language, and he signals turning his rifle upside down and setting his weapons aside, or his guns aside. Then the 3 Apaches come charging down on him. Yeah, that's a good image right there too. You can see them charging down. You can just see the implied power right there in Scalphunter's figure as he's about to meet them head on. No guns, charging right there. Their tomahawks, and he just lays right into these fellas. And Apaches are no slouch. They're no slouch when it comes to fighting. We're brave and powerful warriors. And his many military the military had considered them, the Apache, as the best light cavalry in the world at that time. It just weren't as many of them. They weren't as well armed. Well, he took care of the Indians. The old man is safe for the time being. Pulls out the arrow and breaks it and says, "Well, let's continue looking for Lucky." Of course, meanwhile he's weak and tired. And they keep looking at Lucky. Oh, ask him, well, how long has Lucky been gone? So, 15 years, maybe 20. So he's been there a long time waiting for Lucky. Waiting for his friend Lucky. Meanwhile, the pursuers, yeah, they've caught up to him, looking him down. And this guy right here, he looks just like, oh, again, I can't remember his name, an actor. Had a lot of westerns. Usually played the heavy. He was great. And I can't think of his name right now. And instead of drawing down, they were going to shoot him. But no, hold on. Let's see where they're going. They must be after something. They wouldn't be here if they weren't after something. Then they see this old, decrepit, dry well. He takes a look. Oh, maybe Lucky come this way. And he looks down there, and sure enough, oh, engine, come quick! I found him. I found Lucky. Of course, the bad guys are creeping up. They think, oh, must be treasure. He must have some treasure hidden here. And he lowers the old man down into the well. And just when he's handicapped by bringing the man up, the bad guys show up. Yep. So he can't get his weapon. So he continues bringing the old man up and says, "Now show us what the treasure is, old man." And there shows, wrapped up in this cloth, the remains of Lucky, his dog. Oh, it's sad. Been waiting for Lucky for 20 years, 15, 20 years. And he fell down the well and died. So, while they're all distracted by that, Scalphunter takes advantage, throws his knife, grabs his tomahawk, and he lays into these boys. And they wish they had never followed him. One of the guys takes off. Oh, he grabs his bow and arrow and takes care of him just as he's getting away. Well, you don't get away too far. There's the old man. Oh, Lucky! I hear Lucky. He says he ain't dead. Oh, he's off this way. Scalphunter tries to call him back. He's going off into the sandstorm that's coming up. Oh, and then later he finds him. He's dead. He died from his wounds. Still looking for his lost friend Lucky. So he digs a grave and buries the old man and Lucky together, and marking his grave with the pickaxe, and back off into the wilderness. And that's it. It had some really nice action. Really, I think it was a well crafted story, and this has got to be some of Dick Ayers' best art, and when he did this run of Scalphunter. Same thing goes here. Different inker. I think this is Dick Ayers. Oh no, it's the same inker. It just looks different. I don't know why. Romeo Tango, Dick Ayers. But the inking style looks different. And I don't like it quite as well. That's not to say I dislike it. I don't like it quite as well. It's all fine. Good work. All hands. It is a really nice piece of work and a real joy to read. Some good Western action, and it kind of reminds me of some of the way it's written. It kind of reminds me of some of the DC's war comics with the compassion and the pathos as well as the action. And I really like that. So that's all I've got for you for now for Scalphunter. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment if you will. Share it with your friends who happen to like Westerns or Western comics or Western novels. They like to read Louis L'Amour. If they like Louis L'Amour, they'll like this. So thank you very much, and leave your comments